is a beautiful fall day. It is kind of the start of what I like to call crochet season. This is the time of year that it's great to make hats, scarves, blankets, mittens, arm warmers, warm, cozy things for your friends or for charity. This is a great project not only because it is a practical gift, it is heartfelt, it is handmade, it's affordable, but also it is something to keep you warm and cozy while you work on it, which is great during this cooler sweater weather time of year. So I thought, what better time than now for me to show you a few tips on beginner crochet if you're just getting into the craft, and I'll do more videos down the road of different stitches and patterns that you can follow. I'm working right now on a little baby hat. This is going to be for charity. Like I said, a lot of charities right now are looking for blankets or hats, especially for babies. But today's video, I just thought I would take it back to the beginning and show you basic how to cast on the yarn onto your crochet hook and how to make rows of single crochet, kind of the most basic crochet stitch, which is the fundamental foundation that you need to know. And this will be great for any like scarves, blankets, or any square or rectangular project. What I'm about to show you will help you to keep the edges straight and keep the same number of stitches in each row, which is a common mistake or struggle for beginning crochet. You can check out my other crochet video, which is a headband with bow tutorial. That's more of a freehand without a pattern if you're already comfortable with different crochet stitches. If you are a beginner, let me know if this is helpful and if you plan to take on a new crochet project. If you run into any problems or questions, please do drop those in the comments so I can address those in future videos. So when you start your project, when you take your yarn, you want to just wrap the end of the yarn around itself to make a little X, like a little loop around your crochet hook, and yarn over and pull that yarn through to cast the yarn onto the hook. So if your pattern says chain 11, this does not count as a chain. This is you just casting on, so you still want to chain 11 times from here. So you'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then let's just say you're doing a single crochet. The pattern will usually tell you start a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So meaning here is your hook that has a loop of thread around it. This would be the first chain from the hook and this would be the second. You want to start in here, and this will mean that you're going to end up with 10 single crochets across. You chained 11, so you're going to end up with one less stitch than what you chained because what's on the hook and the first chain count as your first stitch. That's why you chain one extra more than what you want to end up with your number of stitches. If you want to end up with 10 stitches, chain 11 in the beginning. So I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, the second from the hook, and I'm going to do this 10 times. So when I get to the end, I want to keep counting carefully on this first row to make sure I don't end the row too soon and end up with uneven edges. So 1, 2, you want to just kind of stick the hook through under the 2 loops, leaving 1 loop underneath, and bring the yarn through and then yarn over and pull it through those 2 loops. This is a single crochet stitch, and I'm going to do that 10 times. So that was 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here it might look like you're done because it kind of looks like you're at the end of the row, but there is still that knot that is kind of still hanging there. It's a little bit hard to work into that last one, but you do need to work into that one to make 10. So there is 10 single crochets. Now, before I turn this around, I'm going to chain 1 and then turn around to start working back across this way. This one chain is going to count as my first single crochet stitch. So it already raised up the yarn a level higher here, and I'm going to finish the row. So I'm going to make 9 more stitches. So this is 1, then I'm going to go into the next loop under the 2 loops, unless the pattern tells you to work in front loops only or back loops only, but otherwise you're going to go through both and do a single crochet. So that will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then same thing, chain 1, turn. So don't work in here because you already have chained up and this is your first single crochet. You're going to start here in the second stitch and count this as 2. This way you want to be sure you're not increasing or decreasing so that the project stays nice and flat with straight edges. And again here it's easy to think that you're done because it kind of looks like you're at the end, but you know you haven't made 10 yet, and there is a little stitch hanging out here, and you really kind of just have to look for those 2 loops to put your hook through at the end to make your 10th stitch. Chain 1 and turn and repeat. It is harder to get into that last stitch at the end. That's why in the beginning of learning to crochet, it's going to be really important for you to just keep counting and stay on top of that count so you get straight edges like this. I'll do a couple more rows just to show you. It's a little bit harder to see that very last stitch, but you know that basically when you think you're done, just go as far into the edge of the work as you can. You want to just count, and you can just count how many loops you have across. If you do it from an aerial view, it's easy because it makes like a little V. Count your V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you are counting and you only have 9, that means you're not done with your row yet. you do sometimes almost have to kind of like force your way into the last stitch. And so I can see why, you know, a lot of times what I did in the beginning was thinking that I'm done with the row sooner than I really am. So this is how you get straight edges. It is always going to look a little crooked on the row that you're currently working on until you go back through and work into the last stitch, and then it kind of straightens out as you go along. Don't forget to like this video for me, please. It would mean so much to get your feedback, and hit that red subscribe. I'm not sure which side of the screen it's going to be on, that red subscribe button, and help a small channel like mine get more visibility so I can continue to share helpful content for you guys.